Muhammad Abu Nabbut was the governor of Jaffa and Gaza in the early 19th century on behalf of the Ottoman Empire. He reigned from 1807 to 1818. Biography. Abu Nabbut started his military and political career as a Mamluk in the courtyard of Jezza Pasha, the governor of Acre. A few years after Jezza's death in 1804, he was appointed by Jezza's heir, Suleiman Pasha, as governor of the districts of Jaffa and Gaza. Abu Nabbut possessed a similar character to Jezza, becoming known for his ambitious construction and refurbishment projects in Jaffa and for his boundless cruelty as a ruler. He was also known as a just ruler who strove to improve Jaffa and better its inhabitants. Under his rule, the population and economic conditions of Jaffa and Gaza improved substantially. A number of legends surrounded Abu Nabbut, including one concerning his name. Abu Nabbut, meaning father of the club in Arabic, supposedly was attributed to him from his habit of roaming the streets of Jaffa with a club, beating anyone who disobeyed his orders. The English traveller Charles Leonard Irby, who passed through Jaffa in 1817, observed that while his formal name was Muhammad Aga, he was referred to as Abu Nabbut, the master of the Mesa stick. Another local Palestinian legend tells of how Abu Nabbut was locked out of Jaffa after leaving the city to walk through the nearby orchards. When he demanded the gate be opened for him, the guard refused because he did not believe it was Abu Nabbut waiting outside. After repeated calls, Abu Nabbut was allowed entry. The next morning he summoned all of Jaffa's inhabitants and proclaimed, "Cursed be the man," and cursed his father, who joins himself to a man of Jaffa. Quote, he ordered that this to be engraved on his well along the Jaffa road. When Suleiman Pasha of Acre fell ill in 1818, Abu Nabbut apparently made moves to become his successor as governor of Acre. However, this did not suit Suleiman Pasha's influential financial advisor, Haim Fahi, who favored his young protege Abdullah Pasha, believing that Abdullah would be more easy to control. Fahi therefore convinced Suleiman Pasha in the summer of 1818 to move against Abu Nabbut. Abu Nabbut was hence removed from Jaffa through an internal coup. This earned Fahi the eternal enmity of Abu Nabbut, who after his removal from Jaffa went to Istanbul, where he could intrigue against Fahi. Between 1819 and 1827 Abu Nabbut again served as a governor, first at Selanik, then at Diyarbakir. After inquiries in Jaffa in the 1870s, Clement Gano found that the tomb of the legendary Abu Nabbut was located near the Sebel Abu Nabbut in Jaffa. This tomb survived at least until 1950, but it has now disappeared. Buildings. During his tenure as governor, Abu Nabbut was responsible for a large number of building projects in Jaffa, including the completion of the fortifications of the city, the renovation of the Great Mosque, the erection of 2 sables, and the construction of cotton and wool markets. Fortifications. The French sacking of the city after the siege of Jaffa in 1799 proved the inadequacy of the city walls, and when the city was returned to Ottoman control in 1800, Turkish and British engineers began to rebuild the fortifications. This task was completed under Abu Nabbut from 1810 and onwards. Abu Nabbut added a monumental eastern gate crowned with 3 cupolas. The fortifications were specially designed to cope with European artillery and possessed thick walls, with substantial corner bastions, capable of supporting large cannons. Similar fortifications have survived at Acre. However, later in the 18th century the political situation had changed, and Abu Nabbut's fortifications were no longer needed. By 1888 the dismantling process was complete and the moat was entirely filled in. Today, only 2 gateways on a short section of Abu Nabbut's wall remains. Mahmood Eu Mosque. During his tenure as governor In 1812, Abu Nabbut ordered the construction of the Mahmood Eu Mosque, which today is the largest mosque in Jaffa. Sabal Abu Nabbut. Above the columns on the west side of the building is a plaque commemorating the construction of the Sabal in 1236 H. Palestinian villages. The inhabitants of Al-Jiyya reported that the village had been ruined at one point and then rebuilt by Abu Nabbut. Bibliography.